as Marine One touches bottom ward at Stanford Airport. Live pictures there on your screen. Bid you farewell. Shadow Home's Secretary Chris Phil. Thanks for joining us. Let's get it back to the studio. I'm still abutting by Lord Steve McCabe Labour Pier. Lord McCabe, as Marine One lands there. What are your thoughts looking back on this accompaniment visit? Sockist and Donald Trump on cardboard are actual odd bedfellows, and yet they assume to have developed at atomic article of a bond.
Yes,
Said, I anticipation it looked pretty genuine attractive at the pictures, but these things appear in politics. It's not consistently the case that other the most acceptable characters advance relationships, and you perceive Kier gets a lot of criticism from abounding people. But absolutely you perceive he has been very determined about his access to the presidency, and about our charge to maintain this accord with the United States, and I anticipate he's done a very good job. You anticipate a lot of the array of Sixth Anatomy attitude we saw from a lot of Labor MPs in opposition preposterously calling Donald Trump a fascist, a KKK sympathizer. This is the York Present Agent Prime Abbott David Lamb. I'm talking about added MPs calling him a fascist and Nazi. When reality buys, this man that they loathe has hoved into appearance with $350 billion worth of across trade. You know, whether the Labour Party like him or not, he's our greatest asset in agreement of trade, in agreement of peace, in agreement of security. Are those Labour and parliamentarians now just should booty continued attending in the mirror and say, stop actuality so ailing form and puerile and get with the program? Well, lots of bodies say things in opposition that are abundant easier than when you're in government, including lots of American politicians who've said quite a few things about this country. So I anticipate the important affair is America is our key accessory, and whoever is the Admiral of the United States, it's the British Prime Minister's job to make sure he develops an acceptable working relationship. And if you can booty it one step added by accepting a genuine connection as Carr seems to accept done, then that's a abuse acceptable thing. Live pictures there of Stansted Airport. Lord McCabe about to accessible those doors, and Donald Trump will appear with the First Lady Melania Trump. May I ask you how they charge be activity in Brussels, looking on at this admired Brussels of gear storm of advance, 3 years branch up the people's vote attack to cancel Brexit. We've aloof landed a barter deal with America that Brussels can only dream of. They charge be errant into their quiescent in Brussels and Strasbourg looking at this because like it or at the appropriate accord counts for something, and there's 350 billion reasons why it was acceptable abstraction to Brexit. Well, I beggarly this is absolutely a good deal for the UK. That's absolutely true. And the money and the jobs is really important. I beggarly the accuracy is we also need to accept some bigger relations with the EU because there are money and jobs tied up in that as well. Pictures they're just about to see I accept the president appear with the Aboriginal lady. The doors befuddled accessible to Marine One. Just echo afresh what a majestic aircraft that is. There we go. The inner door is open. The Admiral advises the first bottom ward the accomplish their apprehension the president to appear out. Lord McCabe, it's a majestic affectation of ability of superpower. These aircraft all allotment of the optics. Yes, it is fantastic. I mean, as you see, Air Force One is a magnificent craft. But absolutely I anticipate that the blend of this affectionate of American power that we're witnessing actuality, and what we saw bygone with a British pageantry was absolutely the affair that brought this calm and fabricated at work. You know, we were additionally able to demonstrate aloof what we accompany to the table. And I do anticipate, and I've stated this afresh, and I anticipate it was a massive achievement by Skidastormer to get that handwritten letter from King Charles from his central pocket. A dramatic flurry on which I anticipate many world leaders' activity except dreamed of having such an accessible access in the White House. Have you had an accidental alarm afresh from a strange cardinal, maybe aggravating to advertise you something, or alike betray you? If so, your info could be out there. That's because of abstracts brokers. Shady companies that scrape the internet for your personal details and advertise them to marketers, or even scammers. These days, scammers can even use AI to actor your friends' voices and ambush you into sending money. It's not aloof annoying. Abstracts brokers often ambition accessible bodies with high-interest loans or course offers. But there is a solution. Incone data brokers on your account and requests your advice be deleted from their databases. And because your abstracts can keep bustling up, Incone keeps sending removal requests to accomplish abiding it stays gone. They've aloof launched a new unlimited plan with custom removals. If you acquisition your advice on an awe-inspiring website, just accelerate them the articulation, and their privacy aggregation will assignment to get it taken down. Accepting started is easy. Hit the link in the description. Actualize your account and let Incone. It's risk-F chargeless for 30 canicule, and you'll get 60% off an anniversary plan with the code GBNews. Booty back ascendancy of your data with Incone. Music. How do you get the heart? How do you woo a billionaire who can allow anything? Here he is, that billionaire who can afford everything. Donald J. Trump emerging from Marine One with Melania Trump, who's attending artlessly arresting. This entire appointment, in my opinion. Her style has been atom on. That admirable suede jacket. Donald Trump of Advance in his trademark red tie captivation the First Lady's Duke, and there's been a lot of windy altitude Lord McCabe, but these accomplished brace of canicule and Donald Trump's beard for now aloof about staying in place. Yes, I don't apperceive who does it, but it's very effective waiting there to the columnist alarm, and of course, 2 Chinooks flew in, and astonishingly one of them independent, our very own Bev Turner. Columnist alarm was fied from Chequers to Stansted in those U.S. military chinettes. Again, astonishing display of the animal ability of American military. A final handshake looks like from Donald Trump he has to do to Great Britain and Lord McCabe as the first brace of America activate their steps appear the accomplished to Air Force One. Do you anticipate this has been a success, not abandoned for skiest armor the state appointment, but for United Kingdom PLC? Yes. I anticipate you could acquaint from other things that the Admiral said that you apperceive. He absolutely enjoyed it. He was absolutely complex, and he absolutely accepted it. And I think, this, as you see, is an exceedingly able individual. And he's additionally a actual affluent man. He's got everything. But he got article just for those at home. Donald Trump and Melania Trump. They're alighting going up the accomplish of Air Force One. They accepted get to the top and nail about face and accord one final beachcomber to the UK columnist to United Kingdom. There. Donald Trump bouncing goodbye, pointing out one of his favorites, pumping his fist, waving. Melania also waving in a scene brilliant sunglasses. The first brace of United States, the most powerful brace on the planet getting into Air Force One, the closed door closes. That is their sanctuary. That is their commonwealth in flight. And Bev about face of the columnist corp. Now we can see all merging on. Admiral of Advance always first on to that aircraft. They'll be enjoying presidential abundance on the way back, and Lord McCabe a fresh aloof to repeat a huge barter accord has been done with Britain, and I put it to you again, this cements the actuality, putting your politics to one ancillary, accompany your silly name calling to one ancillary that we've seen from Labour parliamentarians towards Donald Trump. By the way, needs to get activity and stop accomplishing that you're still calling him far appropriate. How abounding billions, millions of pounds could accept been pumped into London, if Labour's London may hadn't accept been absolutely so immature and puerile appeared Donald Trump. That's for addition conversation. But on a serious point, doesn't this prove that our accurate accessory on the all-around stage, be it diplomatic, be it financial, is the United States of America, not Brussels? Well, I anticipate it proves that America is a basic accessory for this country. I think America is additionally a basic accessory for Europe, and decidedly, at a time back, Putin is causing so abounding problems. I think that is crucial. I anticipate what a Keir Starmer is accomplishing is proving to be the arch amid Europe and the United States, and I anticipate that is extremely important. But absolutely, if you go back to the name calling and all of that, I mean, the important affair to bethink is Donald Trump is an agent, and when it comes to the crunch, what he cares about is accepting a acceptable deal. So I don't anticipate all this actuality about name calling, and who said what and what might have been done X months or years ago. I anticipate the guy wants to know, am I getting appropriate accord, and can I trust these bodies to deliver? And I think that's what we saw today. I put it to you, that's actual fortuitous for the Labour boys. You're dead right. I anticipate all this name calling Donald Trump is so acclimated to it. It's about a blaster join a tank. It pings off his armor. It's an allotment of know his existence. But it's actual very lucky that he's able to absolve people like David Lammy for comparing him to a fascist. Actual advantageous that he turned a dark eye to Angela Reyna, very vocally attack, he shouldn't be allowed to accept his aboriginal state. It's very accidental that it's about the art of the accord and that Donald Trump doesn't booty things abandoned because, let's be frank, it was ridiculous. Well, as I say, I anticipate when you're in government you accept to adopt a grown-up astute access to politics. It's rather altered in opposition, but it's not all one way. I mean, there except been things said about this country. In fact, not that long ago, the carnality admiral was affectionate of dismissing our role in the Second World War. You know, bodies say things, but the absoluteness is you accept to concentrate in what's absolutely activity to accomplish a difference. That's what the aftermost couple of Canicule has been about. It's about Britain alive with a key accessory and making abiding that we adhesive that relationship. Do you anticipate its activity to be the hard work starts tomorrow morning for Skimmer? It's been a brace of Canicule of pageantry, brace of Canicule have been booty a break from what's been an absolutely tumultuous 14 months in power. Been disaster afterwards adversity in these past few Canicule alone. Angela Reyna accepting to depart office. Peter Mandelson Secure was probed about that today. He brushed it to one ancillary, as did Donald Trump. Of course, Donald Trump didn't appetite to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein because of course it's projected to assimilate the castle. They're at Windsor. Huge embarrassment for Labour Party to lose its U.S. ambassador. These problems still abide tomorrow morning, Bob Gabe. Well, they do, but absolutely things that are declared as above problems accept a habit of absolutely dematerialization quite quickly in backroom because there's always article abroad advancing up. I mean, you know, best bodies would concede that Peter Mandelson did a pretty acceptable job as an agent in the United States, but he had to go. And that, you know, that is activity and that is politics. I anticipate that what Labor needs to apply on is what are we accomplishing about migration? What are we accomplishing about the economy? And what are we accomplishing about acid people's bills and adopting active standards? And I think that's what Keir Starmer will be thinking about tomorrow. Good. Thank you actual much, Lima Cabe. I tell you what, I anticipate Donald, I think Keir Starmer's primary effect from here will be few. Thank God it's over. You know, he got through these accomplished 2 days without their actuality any major political embarrassments. Sometimes he does accept that Dalek-like personality. You accept he was slated for how continued his sleeves were on his suits. The aggregate every single thing that you do is beneath the world's microscope and I anticipate Keir Starmer might be sitting bottomward and aloof affectionate of kicking off his loafers and celebration I got away unscathed. Well, I don't know. Maybe he enjoyed it. I absolutely don't know. I don't know. I think he will be seeing that it's a job well done. I anticipate that will be his feeling.